Hello my brothers and sisters of the Order, welcome back to the Order, and I'm Celtic Templar, and today y'all we're actually doing, yes, another review on a historical weapon. That will be this monstrous bastard from Topeka. This is the, well, I want to say, the decorated Viking axe. However, its decor and such, which it's stated to have this design dragon or whatever you want to say on there. Now, looks alone is impressive. Problem is, it's too damn big. I had to explain to y'all that this thing, as soon as I got it in the mail, I thought to myself, well, that can't be right, because the head's way too big to be a historical Viking design or axe. I mean, Topeka, you did a beautiful job with the decoration on the blade, but that's about it. And also, it does hold it in a lot better than my Gotland Viking axe. However, this axe, on the other hand, does not hold up in the blade. Now, let's go into full depth. It's 47.5 inches overall. Its blade is somewhere between around 8 and 3/8 of an inch. And as well, there's also the weight. It's like 7 pounds and 11.3 ounces. However, it feels a lot heavier than that, which I'll explain why. And there's also the fact that it's made out of 45 EN 45 high carbon steel. Maybe it's hard to say because I think most of it is back here is the problem. But as well, it's stated as battle ready, but no, it's not. Now, one thing I have to say is the fact when it came to training with this or swinging it around, especially using it on my helmets, for example, which I tested it out on 3 helmets. I tested it out on the 18 gauge helmet from all this stuff, which, man, this thing held up incredibly. As you all can see with me swinging the axe and such around onto it, we actually see me, well, hacking into it. And what it did actually do a really good job on the 18 gauge steel alone. In fact, it indented into the helmet here and here. However, these two, I accidentally, something was wrong with the camera. Apparently, it did not record. I don't know why, because I'm still looking into that. However, I did get the final shot, and kind of a massive monster on the top. However, I did see parts of metal fly. I don't know if that was from the helmet or from the axe, because of the fact, while actually hitting the helmet, especially, we actually started to get, well, dents and, well, scrapes and such, because the metal that started to bend one way or the other, like well, as you can see, it's not, well, correct, because it's now damaged entirely. So it's entirely soft metal all the way to the front, and that's not good. Now, entirely, I do see this probably working good on a helmet like this. Problem is, I don't see it, well, working out so much. Due to the fact, I'm kind of worried that this thing didn't, well, do its job correctly. Now, another thing I had to explain to y'all is the fact, with this Roman helmet, it actually tore out the liner, and this is from All That Stuff, which All That Stuff actually did a very good job on this style of helmet. Now, this is only if you can actually get hit by an axe, and even if you're wearing a 14 gauge steel helmet, this would still really impact your head. Now, I have to explain to y'all that while hitting the axe on the metal, it just did not want to do its job correctly, because with the first 2 swings, I knew something was bad, because as soon as I looked, the blade just started to chip, it started to bend and warp. This entire thing, it might be, like, it's technically, well, way too thin at the very tip. So this is the major problem. You don't want an axe, well, like this. Now, I would have to state, though, that this is more of a training or an executioner's axe because of the heavy weight. Literally, as you know you understand, of how training weapons are. They're twice the weight. Well, this is technically twice the weight. And the thing is, I really wouldn't advise using this on somebody at all, especially for historical reasons, and as well for the fact that this is technically classed as battle ready. However, it's not. If you're wanting to defend your home, I really would not advise using this. But now, when it came to the 14-gauge steel bassinet helm, what happened was it just glanced off entirely until I decided to whack it at the side, and we did get an impression. However, this is where a previous impression was, so it didn't do that much damage. In fact, this is actually from the same with the Gotland Viking axe. So the Viking Gotland axe actually stood up a lot more than this did. So not a very good thing. But then we went to actually, well, look at it, and it actually made the weapon look worse. In fact, the fact is, it started glancing, since it started glancing off, it started to chip the blade or warp it to one end or the other, which did not work out so well. So, not the best idea. And in fact, I think this helmet actually really stood up, but if you were a guy wearing a bassinet, I don't think you're going to survive this at all. But then we went to our, well, Lords of Battle's helmet, Viking helmet, which this did its job perfectly for protection, which this is what I like. In fact, this is 14-gauge steel, and we actually hit it like at least 3 times. First, well, we did with the 2 blades, and then we finally did it with an impression with the back, and it did a number. It just made a little bit of a dent or a wallop, so it wouldn't have actually done anything entirely. In fact, I don't even feel much of a lump in the inside. So, as you can see, that little dent impression, I'm trying to get that in frame and such. Yeah, as you can see, it's not that big of a deal. The same can also be said about the axe blows, which not that big of a deal. So, yeah. However, it did somewhat nearly pop out some of these rivets that are on the, well, reinforcement. Now, many of you already asking, Templar, why didn't you whack at the reinforcement? Here's the thing. I was kind of already afraid of this thing falling apart. Well, here's the thing. What might happen if I hit it on the reinforcement? That's the thing. I'm kind of worried that thing might have broken entirely and shattered, which I'm kind of surprised I don't have any metal fragments in me. So, yeah, this is not a good idea to whack. The axe is not a very good idea to whack somebody with a helmet on. But, however, maybe with mail and gambeson, maybe? But that's about it. But, as you all can see me doing the, well, training and movement, especially on the tire, I just kept moving, and I started to build up a sweat in a matter of seconds. In fact, we're here in Texas, it's the middle of spring, or technically going summer soon, and in such, we had just got a massive rainstorm, so it's extremely humid and hot, so with the mixture of Texas weather and humidity, it does not end well. So, yeah. But I do have to explain to y'all that while swinging this axe, I swung downward onto the tire, and it did something entirely I did not expect. The metal frame of the frame I use for holding the helmets and such, it just dented in the blade extremely bad. I don't know if y'all can see that, because just take a look right there. That is a major dent. This is not an axe for warfare. This is an axe for training. Now, while swinging this thing, it is incredibly hard to stop. In fact, while doing a downward chop into the ground, it literally went about up to here, I want to say. So that's actually a long way from the blade. But the thing is, this thing, it's best to build up your strength. Now, I do love the fact that it does have the fact that it doesn't wiggle around, so that's probably an extremely good thing. However, Viking axes were known to sometimes wiggle around. However, you had to fix them in place and such. However, which I'm kind of surprised some of these rivets haven't popped out due to the fact this thing being made of soft metal. So yeah, it's made out of softer metal than what it said. However, or to the worst part, it's too thin of metal to the very edge of the blade. In fact, we have heard of axes in historical warfare bending, warping, and such because of the impact of a helmet. So, yeah, that's what we had to understand. However, this is just bad entirely. Now, as I said, if you want a perfect weapon for, if any of you, my Viking viewers, if any of y'all are looking for a training axe, this would be perfect for you. So, yeah, perfect training axe entirely. However, they are limited, I hear. So, yeah. But if y'all can find one, I'll leave links down below for y'all. However, as I said, this is best to be used for executions or training. If you use it for anything else, you're going to realize soon as you take it out of the package, it is heavy. Especially to the distribution of the axe itself, which I'm trying to get this right. This thing is this heavy enough that of which it's taken all my muscles just to lift it up, which that's how heavy this thing is. So, perfect, as I said, for you to train with, not for you to use in battle. So, the only problem entirely was its major head, which, here's the thing, if it was me that was making this type of axe, what I would have done is entirely get rid of this major half up here and just leave the rest. So, in other words, just get rid of this end and just, well, leave it like that, because gotta admit that would have looked a little better than this thing, because I don't know why, because originally I thought this thing would be a little smaller. That wasn't until I got it. So, not the best idea. Now, I hear many of you already, Templar, would you actually recommend this for anything else than training or executions? Well, maybe for a wall decoration, yes. So that's about it. However, if we were to use it for anything else, I can guarantee you that the blade itself right now is just bad. And there were metal fragment pieces here and there. It looked like they were about to fall off, which I'm kind of afraid they're still out in the lawn. So, yeah. But entirely, this axe was kind of horrifying to hit armor with, because of the fact I'm kind of worried that this thing would actually go through. Now, however, the only thing that kept this thing from breaking entirely was the fact of its weight. In fact, due to the fact of this massive weight in the blade, especially with that downward chop, that's the only thing that saved this axe. So, thoughts, I would have to say, not a big recommendation. However, if any of y'all are into that historical steely iron or bog iron type quality of axes for battle-ready use, this might be the perfect idea. Because, well, we all hear in history of how Viking axes had done that. So, entirely though, I would not recommend it. So, as I said, just use it for training. That's about it. Because this thing, it's just a devastating tool of war, so yeah, not one of my favorites cup of tea. But yeah, guys, if any of y'all have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If y'all all wanted me to cover any type of weapon in history, please let me know in the comments below. As well, y'all, we will be doing some more videos very soon and such, and hopefully by June I'll be able to do an armor up video of the Battle of Bannockburn. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, hopefully you like this. Like and subscribe for more, and hopefully see y'all in the next one. Subscribe and, well, click that bell icon, like the video, and also check us out on Facebook. That way you can stay tuned for the next upcoming video. Anyways, guys, this has been Templar. Have a great day.